Pogroms have started. This was in Los Angeles, which is one of the largest Jewish communities in the United States. Even CNN media personality Van Jones called it a pogrom.
If you want to be a part of a protest and they say, we're going to go to a Jewish community center, we're going to go to a mosque, we're going to go to a Jewish restaurant, that's not a protest. That's a pogrom. That's an anti-Jewish bigoted act. If you want to be a part of a protest, let's go to a mosque. Let's go and harass the Muslims. That's not a protest. So we've got to get clear in our country what is a fair protest about policy, you can agree or disagree, and what's going after people, human beings, terrifying moms, grandmas, children who are trying to be a part of a neighborhood. The Jewish neighborhoods in LA are well known. Nobody is confused where they are. So if you show up there wearing a keffiyeh, you show up there with your face covered, you show up there chanting river to the sea, that would be just like a white person running up with a Confederate flag in Harlem. You're not trying to start a conversation, you're trying to start a fight.
Daniel Greenfield posted on X, when I saw the terrorist rally outside Congregation Adas Torah in Los Angeles, the LAPD allowed terrorist supporters to occupy both sides of the synagogue while keeping Jewish counter-protesters out. Only a narrow, protected lane allowed access. Noah Pollack then posted as follows, adding, I was there today for an event at the shul. LAPD let the Hamas supporters take over the sidewalk in front of the shul and block its entrance. In fact, LAPD had formed a cordon around the front of the shul to keep Jews out and Hamas supporters in. I tried to enter with my kids through the front door and was turned away, not by Hamas supporters, but by the LAPD. Anyone who wanted to attend had to use a secret back entrance. And then he calls out the mayor of LA and LAPD are an absolute disgrace. It's clear the police have been instructed to help the Democratic Party street animals do their thuggery. They were definitely not there to protect the right of Jews to enter their shul, their synagogue. And as we saw in the video clip in the beginning, it wasn't just a mob using violence outside a synagogue. Some even started walking through a Jewish residential area, intimidating the Jewish residents. This takes me back to something I just published a few weeks ago, and I'm now quoting myself. Even as a teenager in the United States, as a student of Jewish history, it was clear to me that the golden era of American Jewry would one day come to an end. When I used to speak about this years ago, I'm talking like 20, 30 years ago, people would respond to me, what are you talking about? There will never be another Holocaust, and definitely not in the United States. My response was that in every generation, something different happens that ends the golden era of a Jewish diaspora. Jews were kicked out of Poland in the Middle Ages, out of Britain in the Middle Ages, expelled from the golden era of Spain because of the Inquisition, massacred by the Nazis to end the golden era of Judaism in the Jerusalem of Germany, Berlin, and that the end of the golden era of American Jewry would happen, albeit differently. I do hope I'm wrong, but as we see the growth of Jew hatred on U.S. college campuses today, with most university administrations and even local police refraining from protecting Jews from blatant discrimination and even from violence, it is not hard to imagine a reality of BLM Antifa-like riots in the streets of Jewish neighborhoods, attacking Jews in the streets or in their homes or outside their synagogues, with local police not showing up to protect the Jews from the mob or not doing what's necessary to protect them. 21st century pogroms, not done by government, but without any government authority able or willing to protect the Jews. Again, I do hope I'm wrong, but it is so far-fetched. But is it so far-fetched to envision modern pogroms with the growth of Jew hatred in the streets of America, at the same time that government and official institutions are doing virtually nothing to stop the tsunami of Jew hatred and outright discrimination against Jews? Hopefully I'm wrong, and it will never get that bad. But even without getting that bad, to me, the answer is still clear. Hashem is once again God is once again sending us reminders that we Jews don't really belong in the diaspora. It is time to come home, to the one country in the world where Jewish children are brought up in a natural atmosphere, where all the holidays of the country are Jewish holidays, where there is no conflict of a potential dual loyalty, and where being a proud Jew is in the air, no matter one's level of religious Jewish education or practice. Jews around the world finish the Passover Seder singing the song Next Year in Jerusalem, celebrating a holiday that was centered around Jews going up to our holy temple in Jerusalem. How many Jews were serious about internalizing those words to actually take advantage of living in a generation with our people as sovereign in our ancestral homeland and our own army? How many Jews today appreciate that they can move back home to be next year in Jerusalem? Unlike the times of our ancestors for over 2,000 plus years when it really was not a realistic option. Today it is. It shouldn't just be a song that we sing. Interestingly, the answer I hear from many Jews in America today is, well, it's not even safe in Israel anymore, as was just proven on October 7th, so I would rather live with the growing insecurity in America. I have a simple answer to my fellow Jews who are thinking this exact answer. God above never commanded us to live in Israel, the Jewish ancestral homeland, because of our safety. Never. That was just a modern concept developed after the Holocaust. Every Jew who knows the Torah and our prayers knows that God commanded us to live in Israel in order to follow his ways, with so many of the 613 commandments intrinsically connected to the land of Israel, meaning they can only be done here, in order to be letaken olam b'malchut shakai, that we be part of making the world a better place by living in Israel. Living in Israel is to be part of the most amazing project a Jew can participate in, developing our promised Holy Land, to be the country we are supposed to turn it into, a kingdom where the oneness of God above is celebrated and felt by all for the benefit of all of humanity. That is ultimately our purpose as Jews, to be fulfilled only truly by living in our ancestral homeland, Israel. We're not supposed to live in Israel because it is safer for us. We are not supposed to live here because it has cheaper educational costs, or not because our children grow up with more independence. There is only one reason for a Jew to live in our ancestral homeland, Israel: to be part of the ultimate task of being a Jew, creating the Jewish society in our ancestral homeland, holy homeland, in order to then make the biggest impact upon humanity in spreading the oneness of God above to all. We still have so many challenges along the way here in Israel, including the dire need to replace many of our senior defense officials who do not understand our true purpose as Jews in the land of Israel, and instead are guided by foreign progressive concepts, values, and interests that then harm their ability to protect us. But knowing that we still have challenges is not supposed to stop us from fulfilling our purpose as Jews to live in our ancestral homeland, Israel. Jews are supposed to live in Israel in order to be part of the most amazing life project a Jew can be part of, creating the Jewish society in the Jewish homeland. Understanding that we have many challenges to overcome in making it happen. And that is why so many diaspora youth are bravely deciding to stay in Israel or moving to Israel in order to serve in the IDF. They want to take an active role in the most intrinsic task of a Jew, building up and protecting our one and only Jewish country. It just so happens that, as Rabbi Soloveitchik, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, used to say, that Hashem today is knocking at our door. The growing tsunami of Jew hatred spiraling in the West, and especially in the USA, is God above knocking on our door, reminding Jews in the diaspora to come home. Now I want to end with this epic sign that a picture was taken of it being hung up somewhere in some city in America. That sign says it all. Am Yisrael Chai, everybody. Am Yisrael Chai. If you are not yet a subscriber to our Pulse of Israel videos, go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe. And if you support the work we do by providing you with a belief-based, inspiring, politically incorrect truth that needs to be heard about Israel, the Jewish people, and the freedom-loving world, well, help us get our videos seen and go click on the donate button every once in a while on pulseofisrael.com. Signing off for another episode here on our ancestral homeland, our biblical homeland, our beautiful homeland, in our ancestral, biblical, beautiful, and indivisible capital, Jerusalem, since King David's time. This is Avi Abula for another episode of the Pulse of Israel. Shalom, and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.